everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and if you're not, welcome back. My name is Tyler and this is Dark River Paranormal. I wanted to make a video here in person with me on the camera. Basically kind of reiterating what my first few videos were, kind of giving a little bit of the backstory to them. I didn't really do a lot of explaining because I wanted to keep the videos relatively short and not have them be 30-40 minutes long and have no one be interested in it, because you have to be pretty entertaining to keep someone watching for that long. So here, well, we'll start with a little bit of my background. I have always been interested in the paranormal. When I was growing up, I had a few small things that happened here and there that I wrote off as imagination or whatever. As I got older, I had a particular thing that happened to me in 2017 to 2018 that opened my world up. And after my world was open, I had tons of interesting things happen to me. That's a whole nother story I'm going to dip into on another video. But like I said, in this video, I wanted to mainly talk about this first investigation. First of all, on this investigation, I did it end of September and beginning of October of 2020. To start things out, the store that this is located at did a whole store remodel. It's a really old building. The store that's there gets refreshed, I guess would be the better word, every 10 or so years. So I deliver to that store with my job. I deliver, I'm a distributor of some products. Maybe that'll come out later on. And I deliver to that store, and I talk to the manager on about every week. They did this remodel. They closed the store down for a week, and when they reopened, I came in to deliver, and the manager was telling me some interesting stories. So the exact story as it fell into my lap was that they were working on this remodel as a store manager and a corporate reset specialist. This store obviously has always been known for having strange things happen. I've talked to many of the employees that have worked there in the past. They all say they feel uncomfortable going down into the basement. They feel uncomfortable being in the store alone. A lot of them that don't like opening the store by themselves or closing the store by themselves. If you notice, I'm not going to say exactly what the store is, but you could probably see it in some of my videos. Those stores are generally ran with a very slim staff as it is. So most people who are there, they're on their own. And almost every employee that I've ever talked to that has worked there has all said the same thing, that they just don't feel comfortable there. They feel like someone's watching them. They feel like things moved on them. They've seen things move, and you know, that's all hearsay. But the start of my story happened when the store manager was talking to me that day, and he said, yeah, we've been having a lot of weird stuff happen. I'm like, weird stuff? Like, do tell. And he proceeded to say that when they did this whole remodel, they cleaned out the basement, and you know, the basement was kind of a catch-all of all the junk, old fixtures and stuff in the store, and there was some stuff that had been there for a while. They cleaned all the basement out. They redid the main floor on some stuff. I mean, they didn't do a whole lot to it, but they freshened things up. So one of the first things that happened that he said was alarming was, you know, in a store of like a grocery store or a department store or whatever, their shelving has pegboard that is backing the shelves. They had spent most of this one afternoon during this reset changing out all of the pegboard and making it new. Him and the reset specialist were the last ones to leave the store after putting in the last few pieces of pegboard. When they came back the next day, the pegboard, and I know it's kind of funny saying this because pegboard of course has holes, but the pegboard had holes punched in it. They didn't specify how big exactly. There's actually more to the story about the manager of the store is no longer there. Won't get into that. But yeah, both him and the reset specialist look at the camera. No one was there in the store, nothing that they could see. Couldn't figure out what time it would have happened because the camera angles wouldn't show the actual pegboard and when the holes occurred. So they, of course, just changed the pegboard out, put a new one in, and that was the end of it. So, gets into the next thing. So he's telling me all this, and I'm like, well, because of, the things I kind of hinted to that happened to me in 2017, 2018, I had bought some amateur paranormal investigation tools, Spirit Box and the EMF meter that you see in most of these videos. I had those at my house for 2.5 years. I played with them. I took them to some old locations here and there. Never, ever got the EMF meter to ever throw numbers. Unless, of course, you held it up to an electrical box, hold it up to the light switch, you can hold it up to your phone, your Wi-Fi router, whatever. Electromagnetic frequencies exist everywhere. But to just sit there and ask questions and have the EMF meter flow up and down was not anything that I had ever had happen. And this location was the first experience I had with it, which is why my footage is very amateur and why I kind of put it away for a year and didn't touch it, because I didn't know what to do with it. But I figured my initial goal was to get it all out here in front of the people, because just like me, my belief in the paranormal grew. I saw this and I was like, holy crap, it's all real. I mean, I listened, as you heard, and if any of you guys are new, you didn't hear this, but if you watched a previous video, I am a huge fan of Darkness Radio. I don't usually watch too much of the TV shows, but Dave Schrader's TV show, The Holzer Files, was one I particularly liked. Not a huge one on Ghost Adventures and all those, because when I was growing up, as a skeptical believer, those shows always had kind of the same thing. Like, oh, I got scratched. Oh, did you see that? Oh, did you hear that? And it's like over-embellished, some of it, maybe. And I just couldn't find a lot of it believable. I mean, now it's so prominent in the Travel Channel and Discovery Plus and A&E. They all have their own shows that it's kind of a mainstream thing. And they all kind of do it. But, anybody could fake this stuff. My son shows me countless numbers of YouTube channels that he likes to watch that are paranormal, have a paranormal angle to them. And they're fake, they conveniently had a camera to find a haunted doll in the middle of the woods. Like, come on, guys. It's a lot less exciting than that, which kind of leads me into a bind. I will never, and I mean never, fake anything for the camera. Everything I want is for my personal exploration. Like, I personally want answers for paranormal, for extraterrestrial, for anything. I wanna know the unknown, just like a lot of other paranormal investigators out there. So that leads to this this video. So in Dollar General, I did the first investigation with the store manager. And I apologize if I'm rocking a lot. I'm sitting in a desk chair. Don't really have my whole office set up the way I want it, but this is kind of a way I'm going to do it for the time being. And I'm looking off at my face. That's not in front of the camera, I just realized. So I'm not looking into the camera. I'm looking at me talking, which probably isn't the best thing. But, so, I went and investigated the first time. In the video, you see, you hear another person's voice. That's the store manager at that time. And then you hear my best friend's voice in there. He investigated with me because he was intrigued too. After that time, also, I wanted to say at the very end of that thing where he thought the spirit, ghost, whatever you want to refer to them as, he thought it said, "I don't think so," or whatever. It really sounded like the spirit box said, "Help him." Could mean many things. I don't know if the spirit needs help. I tried to cross him over. I'm under this belief now that I've heard from different shows that I watch with mediums and stuff that some spirits are just where they want to be because they want to be there. They aren't all like, oh, he died here and that's why he haunts here, or oh, his daughter was murdered here and he comes here looking for his daughter. Like, I mean, some of those situations obviously happen, but they're not all like that. This spirit that has been in this basement that I have done these videos on, he's still there. He had no interest in leaving. He doesn't seem to have too many ties to the building. I'm starting to maybe think he might have been a former business owner, because in that building, a little bit of the history, I didn't dig too much into it. I really need to go to the library and dig up some papers on what it used to be. But it used to be a 2-story department store with a basement. The basement, just like most old department stores of the time, the basement has bathrooms and, as you see in the photos, all those rollers and stuff. They used to put all of the, and even the store that's there now, in its earlier years, used to put all of the stuff in the basement and store it there. Now this leads to a very interesting part of the story I needed to get out in this chat. So, after the second investigation that I did all on my lonesome, I went next door. Now, I am new to asking people questions, and when talking about paranormal, there's a lot of people that don't believe in this stuff. But I went next door, and which is a oak furniture store, the Oak Furniture Gallery in Quincy. I walked in, and it was the son of the owner and his mother sitting there. The son was, he's not like what I should refer to as a son. He's probably like in his 50s. I walked in and I kind of had a smirk on my face, and I was like, so I got a question that might be kind of weird, but what do you guys think of ghosts and stuff like that? We're like, we don't really believe in that stuff. And his mom was like, it's interesting, but I don't really believe, And I was like, well, I was over here investigating. I mean, you know me as the person that delivers here. You've talked to me a couple times. But I have some, paranormal investigation equipment, and I brought it in and, kind of explained to him what I have so far, and then the story of what has happened, the holes in the pegboard, stuff like that. Initially, that video of what I thought was a spirit walking down the aisle that ended up being a spider. I showed him that. Of course, that makes everybody go, wow, until you realize what it really is, which was kind of disappointing. I wanted a video of a ghost. Didn't happen. Eventually, my hopes I'll get one. I will get one. But I talked to him about that, and he's like, oh, wow, that's, really crazy. He's like, you know what? He's like, 10 years ago, they were doing some work in that building too. He's like, they called the police on a situation that they never could figure out. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, what do you mean? He's like, so, you can get down in the basement there. He said they would have stuff go missing. They would have things move around, fixtures move around in the basement, stuff just completely disappear, to the point where they thought someone was stealing from them. They called the police. The police did a full investigation. They went on the roof to see if there was any ways in. They went all around the whole entire perimeter of the store looking for ways to get in. Place is locked up. There was really no good way to get in. So then they went on the roof. They went on the outside of the store. They went into the basement. They went into the neighbor's basement to see if there's a way that the basements could connect, and there isn't. I mean, these are two separate storefronts. What's really neat about this basement is that there's an old tunnel system that goes underneath the old business district of Quincy, underneath Main Street, ties into a few other old businesses, and a lot of places use it as storage. Well, the tunnel system is sealed off in the basement of this store. There's no tunnels that you can access, so there's no ways out. There's a couple weird random doors that go to nowhere. They go to bricks, they go to dilapidated crap. There's no way past any of that. So, I mean, that's basically it. So he's telling me this, and I'm like, wow. And I said, 10 years ago, what were they doing? And he said, well, they were doing a kind of remodel. They were freshening things up. It's like, wow, that's kind of ironic. So then that guy also proceeded to tell me that I have a couple clips out there on my channel. There are clips of the light that turns on and off on the back side of the store. That little cove there, the neighbor of the store, the Oak Furniture Oak Furniture Gallery owner, found a guy dead on that doorstep there. And, that could be who's messing with the light. Henry is the guy in the basement. Whether he's the guy that died there, that's all information that I haven't got yet. But when I said in a video that I'm going to be going back in a year, that's going to be here shortly. I have more tools that I'm going to use on this investigation. I have a second EMF meter of a different color, which I got some of my tools right here. So I got a second EMF meter to maybe help refine some of the questions. So I got a blue one, which is right here, and I got the orange one. Now my hopes with that is to refine the questions a little bit better to refer to a color to trigger instead of that. EVP is something I haven't messed with yet too much. I really want to. Doing this by myself, setting up everything, I don't have a lot of the time. I have 2 kids and a family and a job, full-time job. So I kind of do things when I can. But I have a fancy little voice recorder. I, of course, have the spirit box that's seen in most of my videos here. The next things that I have, over the past year that I've been waiting to pump these videos out, I have sage, I also have crystals, that's all stuff I already had. I've also bought some things that are homemade. So I have, this is called an EMF pump. It's got a little diode on it, takes a battery, has a little antenna. You see these in various ghost hunting channels and stuff like that as a EMF pump. The piece de resistance that I have is I found Nigel with FCD ghost boxes. I have this wonderful ghost box here. It's basically, for most of you that see it, it's a speaker. Yes, I can connect the other spirit box to it because I don't know why he didn't put an antenna on this one. On his videos, his ones had an antenna on it, but this one didn't, so it doesn't pick up channels too good. So I'm going to connect the other spirit box to it to get that. But the particular thing that this thing does different than a regular spirit box is I can turn up the reverb. I can turn reverb on, turn it up. I can change the cycle speed of the channels in a little more of a fine-tuned way. So I can hear words better. And the reverb allows the words to echo so you can hear them instead of just hearing a blip, 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 especially if you turn the tuning, scan rate faster, so it can cycle through and maybe get some more words. I don't know. I haven't played too much with the right speeds and stuff to use, but like I said, amateur paranormal investigator. I am no Zach Baggins or any of those guys, but, I would like to eventually grow myself to be something. In the future, also coming up, like stated in my other videos, Quincy is a river town. There is a lot more haunted places in Quincy to visit. So I am trying to get into a few places. The Eagle's Nest Hotel had a really good video that a lot of Darkness Radio picked it up. Some Coast to Coast talked about it. A lot of different paranormal outlets, radio, talk shows, stuff like that, picked it up and talked about it. Eagle's Nest Hotel is it foreclosed on and the bank owns it, and I'm trying to figure out which bank owns it so I can get in, but I doubt a bank's going to let me in to paranormal investigate, but we'll see. The other one was the Red Light Bar and Grill. It got bought out. I think it's a couple or a business. They're trying to turn it into a bed and breakfast now. The Red Light Bar and Grill was in the old bank building that is located on Main Street, literally just a block away from the store. And that place has a lot of activity, enough to where the restaurant that used to be there used to host ghost tours quite often. So I got a few more locations I want to do, but I'm working at it. I also have another one of my stops has informed me that they have some paranormal activity before I ever even mentioned to them that I do this stuff. And then I was like, really? Well, you know, I'm creating YouTube. I kind of think it's like a divine intervention or something like that. I've had multiple things just kind of happen in my life to guide me into a certain direction. Me doing this channel, I was guided to do it. I had a lot of skepticism. That's part of the reason why I tucked this stuff away for a year. COVID and all the restrictions year to year for the past couple of years have put a damper on my job. And so I was maybe thinking about other revenue streams, and I was guided to doing this. Obviously, YouTube doesn't take off in the first few videos you post, but I'll be working at it and continuing on through the days going forward. Sorry this video took so long to get out. Like I said, been busy. I had COVID come really close to my family, so we were stuck without daycare and under quarantine. So I wasn't under quarantine. My kids were and stuff, so I had to rush home from work and watch kids, and making these videos with my kids home isn't the easiest thing. My youngest one is very, very loud. Love him to death, but he's noisy and he likes stomping around. So here in my basement, he shakes the whole house. But like I said, I am working at it. I love the idea of making YouTube videos. I've always kind of wanted to do it. That was the other big thing that intimidated me from creating these videos, was just, I don't know technology anymore. I've been out of high school for 11 years, and the last time I really messed with my computer was probably 8 years ago. And now everything is way different, and I have different computers and different technology. I converted to Apple like 3-4 years ago, and now I have more Apple devices, which all these have been totally edited through iMovie. Started on my iPad, now I got a MacBook. But we're learning. But I'd like to thank you guys again for watching. Hope you guys continue watching. Let me know if you see or hear anything in any of my videos. Maybe give a like and comment what you see or hear. Maybe consider subscribing, because I would love to grow. But then again, thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.